welcome to this month's Teams and Partners Snack and Learn session. So we're going to learn how we can bring in applications that we use every day into our Teams workspace to enhance our productivity. So I'm Travis Anderson, and with me is Doug Moso. We're both Modern Work customer success managers, where we help our customers like you drive Office 365 adoption through education and business value. And one key focus we have this year is around Microsoft Teams and sharing the platform value. So we're very excited to have Adobe join us for this installment and share how they can help accelerate business and drive efficiencies and share some cool scenarios that should resonate with all of you. A couple of housekeeping notes here up front. So we are going to record the session. It will be available later today or tomorrow at that aka.ms link. So as mentioned, we also have had previous sessions. This is our fourth installment where we've had ServiceNow, Workday, and Poly. So you can find that same short link, but insert ServiceNow snackable or Workday snackable, and that's how you can get there. We'll paste them in the chat window as we go on as well. Appreciate it if you keep off muted. We've got kids and dogs around the house. I know I do. So life happens all around us. For questions, use the raise hand feature or throw your messages in chat. We're probably going to keep a lot of the Q&A, at least coming off mute towards later. We've got a lot of content and we have only a short amount of time, so we want to make sure we get through it all. And then finally, we do appreciate your session feedback, and we're going to have prizes to give away. So we do have 6 cool prizes, including gift cards, even a Teams Champ kit that we'll give away. We've got 6 of them. So with a completed survey response, you'll be eligible to receive. So let's dive in. Okay, so you might be asking, like, what exactly is this whole Teams platform business? Well, it's a lot more than just chat meetings, right? So if you think about it, it's really how you can connect conversations, the documents, applications that you and your team work on, and incorporate business processes that can transform or modernize the way that you work. And this really results in getting things done faster and more efficiently. So as an example, perhaps you've co-authored a Word document in a project team channel, or transformed a manual business process with a Power App, like the approval process, an example. Or you've interacted with a self-service bot to get your pay and benefits information from ADP, Workday, or the like. So that's how you can kind of start to think about Teams platform a little bit. We frequently hear that organizations struggle to drive adoption, and in this case, Teams adoption. So in fact, a Forrester study indicated that customers who leverage applications in Teams increase user adoption by 75%. It's a pretty good sized number. Teams allows you to really kind of stay in the flow of your work and not get sidetracked by bouncing around to different applications and searching tirelessly for information, whether it's for keywords for a document or for people, whatever it might be, right? I know I, in the past, had a hard time or struggle to kind of stay on track, a lot of disruptions, and it's probably a common theme. So I'm glad that I'm able to kind of stay in the flow with my work with the team. The other thing I'll mention is that while IT does need to allow access to a lot of these applications in Teams like Adobe or Smartsheets, the business justification to request access where it's needed is simplified as your organization is using many of these applications already in your environments. So it's easier to administratively enable access to these applications. All right, enough of that. So let's get into it. We'd like to introduce Garrett and Fred from Adobe to tell us a little bit more about the Teams and Adobe integrations and how we can transform the way you work. Guys.
Great, thanks, Travis. All right, let me, as Travis mentioned, my name is Fred Tucci. I am a partner manager with Adobe, and I'm very excited about being here today and to talk to you about this Better Together story that we have to help all of us around just digital experience, business continuity, and anyone that's initiating or implementing a digital transformation strategy. When you think about what's going on today, right, you think about the realities of what we're dealing with, there's some significant challenges and some significant levers for us to address. And when you think about that, and when we look at the digital experience and we look at it for both the employee and the customer, 60% of executives still feel that they're behind in creating that better digital experience for both their employees and their customers. This one is staggering, right? You think about 80% of document processes still rely on paper. Even with what we have going on with COVID, they're still relying on paper. So obviously that is a tremendous opportunity for us and Microsoft in this partnership and what we can provide to all of you. The other one is the lack of visibility. They say that only 19% of organizations really have visibility into their document process. So that means 81% of those processes are sort of out there without any controls, without any mechanisms, and without any visibility. And then this is critical, right? 44% of organizations say they're faced with legal or regulatory actions around manual document processes. So these are the realities of what's going on today in the industry, in organizations, and in the world around digital experience for both our customer and for our employees. This is what we're going to want to try to accomplish today, right? We want you all to gain a better understanding as to what the Adobe Microsoft partnership looks like and the value that we can deliver to you. We also want you to get a better understanding as to how our solutions can be leveraged to drive greater workforce productivity, but also to sort of create that, as I mentioned earlier, that better digital experience for both our customers and our employees. And then we're going to talk about some use cases and actually show you the product work, right? I think that's important. I know we have primarily a retail audience. There may be some others from different verticals, but we're going to show you as to where this sits and in what areas we can actually help you sort of digitally transform. This is a good slide because when you think about Adobe and Microsoft, right, you're thinking about two companies that have collectively been in this space, in this digital space, for probably over 80 years. And then when you take what we can do individually, and then what our footprint and our market share looks like individually, and then you combine those two and you sort of synergize those two, it really is, the customer really is the ultimate benefactor of what we, two companies with tremendous experience in this space, can provide to all of you. So we're really excited about this partnership. This partnership has been in place for about 4 or 5 years. It's just getting better and better as each year goes on because we gain a better understanding as to what we can do or what we can improve upon with our solutions and what additional value that we can bring to our customers, our shared customers, and even customers that we may have individually, but we feel that we may leverage one another, bring one another in to create even greater value when we sort of work together. All right, and this is, again, going into the challenges and opportunities right now in the space today, right? 72% agree that digital documents support business continuity. And when you think of what's going on with COVID right now in the pandemic, and you think about how we continue to do business continuity is critical, right? So when you think about, again, what we can do as companies to help our customers through that, this is an area that we can sort of drive greater or better experiences for both our customer and the employee. Number one, this is rated number one as the biggest challenge, the ability to work from any location at any time. We need to collectively make sure that we're able to digitally equip our workforce to make sure that we don't skip a beat from a productivity standpoint. And again, when you look at, as you'll see in the coming slides, when you look at what we can do together, we really do create that better together story and solution for our customers. And then 45% of CIOs' top priorities is really maximizing what they've already invested in. So when you think about this, we already have an Adobe footprint. We already have a Microsoft footprint. And through this partnership, we're able to go in and allow all of you to make what you've already invested in better. That's powerful, right? In most cases, when we're going in to try to address a business requirement or an issue, there's usually some cost associated with that initiative, with that investment. With something like this, we're actually putting ourselves in a position where we can give you more out of what you've already invested in. And that's, again, a pretty powerful partnership and a pretty powerful value add that we can deliver to all of you. So with that, I'm now going to turn it over to Garrett to cover some of his content.
Thanks, Fred. Hello, everyone. Travis, Doug, thank you for having us. My name is Garrett Schwartz. I'm part of our product marketing group here at Adobe. I have been very tied to the Microsoft partnership. I am obsessed with Microsoft. I played Halo way back in the day, have an Xbox. I love that you guys call your AI engine Cortana. I'm obsessed with it. I refuse to download Slack. I'm a Teams guy all the way. So I am your guys' biggest advocate, yes, internally for Adobe. So happy to be here today, and thanks for having us. I wanted to start off by saying we have a ton of integrations with Microsoft Teams, and I'm very well aware that Microsoft Teams is one of Microsoft's fastest growing products. And we are just latching onto the coattails and enjoying the ride as well with these awesome integrations with our Creative Cloud suite, Adobe Acrobat and Adobe Sign. We're going to be talking about Adobe Sign today, but we have a lot of integrations with Creative Cloud as well, being able to see sync files with CC libraries inside Teams, being able to collaborate on creative assets, pulling in high quality resolution stock images and videos into Teams as well for approvals. And then Adobe Acrobat is coming right around the corner with the ability to edit PDFs and collaborate and annotate and highlight and markup in real time inside Microsoft Teams without leaving the application. But today we're going to double click and focus on Adobe Sign. And we love showing this slide because it gives an idea of the breadth and the depth of the partnership. And what's really crazy to think about is about 4 years ago, this was almost non-existent. We didn't have any of these integrations from my knowledge, and that was just 4 years ago. So you can see how heavily invested we are with Microsoft, and not just co-marketing and co-branding, but co-engineering and co-developing applications to go to market together. Adobe Sign is our #1 hook for Microsoft integrations. We are fully integrated into Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive, Azure, Active Directory, all of the Microsoft 365 suites as well, with cool little buttons and added features. And we'll show you a quick little sizzle reel and demo here in a second. But wanted to just show this slide to showcase how many integrations we have with our e-signature solution, Adobe Sign. And speaking of Adobe Sign, just to get a lay of the land, my opinion, it is the simplest signing experience. It's just as easy to sign as it is to send on any device. We don't ask you to create an account. You don't have to have a login. All you need is access to the internet and your email address to sign documents and get the work done that you need to get done. We have seamless integrations, especially with Microsoft. If you're enterprise paying customers, all of that comes free of charge. So if you want to integrate into SharePoint, you want to integrate into Teams or Microsoft 365, all that can be done with a single price point. And of course, all the security and compliance that you would expect from a Fortune 500 company like Microsoft and Adobe. I wanted to say, taking Adobe out of the equation for a second, if we're just talking about e-signatures, you are looking at the right investment. You're making a very good investment by implementing e-signatures into your environments. There's tons of benefits. There's tons of value. It's one of the applications that have the highest return on investment, the quickest return on investment for an organization. And of course, with everyone working from home, being able to get documents signed, having the audit trails associated with that too, from a data governance standpoint and compliance standpoint, is super important to moving forward in business continuity as well. So just a couple of added value: accelerating business and driving efficiency in the workplace, retaining business continuity by supporting that remote work like I just touched on, and reducing the risk of compliance and burden. So being able to be sure that you're taking the right steps legally and from a compliance standpoint to make sure you don't suffer any ramifications or anything like that. Okay, so what we want to highlight, because Teams is my favorite application, we did our entire sales conference via Microsoft Teams. We were collaborating, and I'm obsessed with Microsoft Teams. But just to give a lay of the land, this is Adobe Sign in Microsoft Teams 1.0. So all the functionality that you would expect with an e-signature solution, being able to send documents for signature directly within Microsoft Teams, being able to track documents and set reminders, fill and sign without leaving the application, and of course a mobile first platform. So if you need to accomplish this on your cell phone or your mobile tablet or whatever you may be using, we allow for that too. So every one of those basic functionalities that you would expect from an e-signature solution can be satisfied and accomplished inside Microsoft Teams without leaving the application, which is a phenomenal win for IT departments as well. Moving forward, this is what we're super excited about, and we're the only e-signature vendor on the market that is going to be providing this type of service with our customers. But Adobe Sign in Microsoft Teams 2.0, we have live signing via video conference. And the way that I like to kind of describe this is just how I think about it. I know we're here to talk about retail, but it's a good concept to grasp. But imagine you're talking with your doctor and you're having a virtual conference, and I've had a couple of doctor visits with my physician over Teams video. But imagine you have to sign some contracts or release waivers or whatever it may be with your doctor. Instead of leaving that phone conference, getting an email or notification and filling out those documents and those applications, you can do that in real time while looking at your doctor and having a conversation with them. And if you might have any questions about what you're signing, your doctor can alleviate those questions that you have in real time. We've seen a lot of interest in mortgage companies, banking, finance, and all that stuff, making this a very personalized experience, even with this remote workforce and everyone working from home. How do we keep that person-to-person interaction? Very excited about that. So it's pretty black and white. I would be doing a disservice if I didn't show you this live. So we have a sizzle reel that we want to show you to kind of give an understanding of what that experience would look like. So I'm going to play that now. Love that. Let's see if I can advance to the next slide. There we go. Okay, so we just saw a quick sizzle video of the live signing feature that we have with Microsoft Teams and Adobe Sign. This is the money slide. This is a great slide to screenshot. I'm not going to go through all of these, but these are all of the highest priority, I guess, use cases that we see inside retail using features like Microsoft Teams and Adobe Sign. And I'll just kind of pinpoint a few of these: hiring and onboarding, an end-to-end digital process for signing and approvals, welcome package deliveries, offer letters, photo ID acquisitions, and more. All of that can be accomplished inside Microsoft Teams. Workflow customization by employee type. So say you have a certain employee and they're assigned to a certain part of the organization, and they need to be onboarded and they need different requirements in order to get up and running to accomplish their job. We allow for that as to in-store hiring. And if we move over into the middle column here, sales and shopper experience, one thing that I really want to point out: credit card applications. I'm sure everyone on the call has been at the like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever it may be, and they're asking you to sign up for a credit card application. we can streamline that as well. So you can acquire new customers. You can see revenue from credit card applications. Of course, in retail, purchase orders and invoices, supplier agreements, whatever that may be, it's super important to be able to track all of those documents and have a really streamlined way to, I guess, acquire that information and make sure that that data is put in the right place, so we eliminate that factor of human error. So inventory checks, all of that good stuff. Cash flow chart, not cash flow charts, but cashier, I forget the verbiage for it, but making sure that the monetary aspect of the retail experience is buttoned up as well. And then procurement and faculty operations, real estate and leasing, supplier and distributor contracting, and sourcing. So location sourcing with Adobe Sign, you can get contracts, statements of works, and POs sent, signed, and returned in minutes. Really, some of the numbers that I'll share here in a second are staggering when you implement e-signature solutions. So again, if you're looking at e-sign solutions, your head is in the right place. You will make a good investment with this, and you will be better off in the long run for it. I'm going to segue into the next slide, which is priority use cases. And we have worked with Microsoft to kind of establish these high-tier priority use cases. So things like workforce productivity. And what I mean by workforce productivity is giving your employees giving your employees the tools that they need to get the work done so that they can do more in a shorter period of time. All of these applications, all this software that they need to get their job done, putting it all in one place so it's easy to consume, easy to find, and again, so they can do more in a shorter period of time. That's called productivity. Sales acceleration, being able to get visibility into your sales contracts. I'm seeing all these notifications pop up. Yeah, thanks. Love the use cases. This is great. Yeah, sales acceleration. So instead of using snail mail or the Pony Express to, acquire your statements of works and vendor agreements, it's 2021. We have a much more streamlined way to do things nowadays, and much more cost effective as well. Everything from legal automation, field worker empowerment, employee life cycle. So again, that onboarding, the HR stuff that we were talking about, offer letters, and then procurement efficiency as well, making sure that all of your procurement needs are buttoned up tight and in one singular place. One thing that I want to end on, measurable impact of applications like Document Cloud, Adobe Sign, and Microsoft 365. We had commissioned Forrester to do a report for us. It's called the Total Economic Impact Study of e-signatures. It's a public-facing document. You can find it right on, do a simple Google search or Bing search. It should pop right up, but I wanted to share this asset because it would be a really good, piece of content to build a business case if maybe you're struggling to understand the value or the return on investment. 28 times faster cycle times is what we found, $28 saved per document per year, or $28 saved per document when using e-signatures. And when I first heard that, I was like, no way, those numbers are way too high. But they actually factored in the average salary of the employee. So all that time that they're spending walking to the post office or mailing something out, that was all factored into 2.8 to 4.2x ROI. What I want everyone to take away from on this slide is we've done a lot of research on customers, and what we have found is on average, after procuring our software solution like Adobe Sign, it takes our customers about 3 months to break even on their initial investment, which is incredible. And anything after that point is just dollar savings, hard dollar savings as well. So that's all that I had. I know we have a couple minutes left, but I know Fred wanted to share some assets for the audience, and then we were going to take some Q&A, and I can hang on for a little bit after as well, if that's all right.
And no, thanks, Garrett. Yeah, I just wanted to just go through this slide quickly. This is just, we've given you a bunch of information. Hopefully it's very helpful with some of the challenges that you're facing today. But if you want to go a little bit deeper, I've given you a couple of links where you can get more information around the Adobe Sign Teams integration and the guide to implementing that. And then also additional information around M365 tools. As Garrett mentioned in his presentation, we don't just start and stop at Teams. We're natively integrated with the entire M365 suite of solutions. So I thought this would be helpful for all of you after we conclude, when you find some time to go in and do a bit more research on this better together story that we presented today. And with that, I will turn it over to Travis and Doug.
Bring us home, Doug.
All right, if you want to just to quickly advance the slide for me, Travis. I appreciate everybody's time today. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to take a look at different places and ways Microsoft and Teams, along with Adobe here, in this case, can really drive efficiencies in your business. I appreciate the team sharing those use cases, as it's a great way for all of us to think about different ways of driving efficiencies in the business. As we think about what's ahead for us, Travis put up a slide here that we do have a survey. We'll put the link to the survey into the chat window. We really appreciate your feedback. As Travis and I have built on this series, we are taking your feedback and trying to make it better as we go forward. We'll continue to bring these great partners to the table. There's a link to the Workday click-through demo from our last session here in the slide as well, and we'll get you those links. So if you want to peek back at the prior sessions, we can provide those for you. As we look ahead, we'll take some time to take the recording and tweak that and send that back out your way, as well as an opportunity for the survey feedback that you provide. For those of you that do fill it out, we'll be giving some giveaways that Travis mentioned at the beginning of the session. So I do want to leave a quick minute or two here for any additional questions that you guys may have, but really appreciate your time and attention. Please fill out the survey and we'll look forward to the next session next month. Any questions that you have, come off mute if you'd like, or drop them in the chat.
As we wait for maybe a question or two to pop in, just want to remind folks that we have that survey up. So if you want to, whether you want to comment on whether you like today's session, you want to learn more about how I can integrate Adobe into Teams, the Adobe team, the Microsoft team, we're here to help you, right? We want to make sure this is successful, that you're able to integrate and put this together. Or if there's more education that you need, we're here to help. Or if you just want a cool prize, complete that survey link in the chat window. It's at aka.ms Plat Snack Survey. The recording will be shared within the next day or so. I'll put the link in the window as well. And then I think what's really cool, what Fred mentioned, is they've got a data sheet on what that Adobe and Teams integration looks like. So that's in the chat window as well. So good stuff. The other thing that I wanted to mention also in the chat window is there's a click-through demo. So how can I learn more about what this Teams and Adobe integration looks like? I can click on that link, and in my browser it's going to pop up with that experience. And I can just click on buttons, and it's going to take me through a couple of different scenarios. So it's super cool.
Absolutely. Any questions, folks?
Looks like Lori's got a question. How long before Acrobat will be available for proofing within Teams? And we can proof now, but not with all the editing features that are available with Acrobat.
Yeah, so the go live date for that is, I believe, March of this year. So like really, really quick and coming around the corner. We've had a lot of customers super interested in that. I'm very interested in that as well. But yeah, so right around the corner.
Any other little nuggets as far as futures that are going to be coming out? I'm putting you on the spot. I apologize. No production meeting on that. But any other cool features that we can look for, down the road that customers are asking about?
We're getting a lot of interest in the Creative Cloud side of the house. I mean, e-signatures, obviously, there's so much benefit in integrating that into Teams and Acrobat and being able to, like we say, bring the tools to where the work gets done. Everyone's leaving inside Teams, so how do we allow folks to edit in real time on Teams on PDFs? How do we allow them to send out contracts for signature? But we are just tapping into the world of what Teams can offer. Creative Cloud is coming up really, really fast with CC libraries and collaboration on XD files and pulling in. Yep, there's a recording. Pulling in files from stock imagery to be able to collaborate for different creative groups inside the enterprise. So more to come. It's just it's incredible to see how far this partnership has come in the last 4 years. And I'm not joking. 4 years ago, none of this existed. So kind of showing, how invested we are together. But
yeah, and I'm even learning not only, a lot about Adobe Sign, and hopefully soon about Acrobat. We'd love to have you come back and talk about Creative and Sign, or Acrobat as well. Even as I learn my own technologies with this new meeting experience and showing presentation, I'm even learning that these links are clickable, so I can actually hover and click, and boom, I don't have to go to the chat window. So, hey, that's awesome.
Yeah. And for those of you that are interested in how you get started, again, certainly feel free to reach out to Travis and I, but we're one of many, or two of many CSMs that represent your organization. So if you know who your CSM is and you have interest in learning the best practices, leverage the how-to guides, but our CSMs can also help you get connected with resources to get this lit up in the organization for you as well.
Outstanding. And with that, I think we'll stop the recording. We can hang on for a couple of minutes, but I want to thank Garrett and Fred for hopping on and joining us today. Very insightful. Appreciate it, gents.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody.